welcome to this week's golf betting preview of the Workday Charity Open. It is a one-off event, which means it's back-to-back tournaments at Jack Nicklaus Muirfield Village. It'll be intriguing to see whether this week's field gain an edge on their competitors next week for having the extra week at the course. But rest assured, the layout will be significantly different. They'll be playing off different tees, and the rough will be much shorter this week, and the softened greens will also be running much slower than next week at the Memorial. It should be decent scoring conditions, and it's a tournament headlined by 11-1 favourite Justin Thomas. The American missed the cut on his last start, and his record at Muirfield Village is very mixed. It's enough to put me off backing the favourite this week. Instead, my number one selection is Patrick Cantlay at 14-1. Now, this world-class American will be licking his lips about returning to the scene of his last victory. Cantlay won at Muirfield Village last season with a superb total of 19 under par. He absolutely adores the course. He was also fourth the previous season, and he's commented on how much the track fits his game and he feels comfortable off all the tees. Now, this is a world-class ball striker who is likely to be a fixture in contention for the majors over the coming seasons, and he will be setting his sights on claiming a third PGA Tour title this week. He warmed up with a solid 11th place finish at the Travellers a couple of weeks ago. Interestingly, it was his putter that did most of the work, as he led the field for fewest putts. But he's renowned for his excellent long game, and his ball striking stats bode very well. He is fifth for the season in strokes gained approaching the green and seventh strokes gained tee to green. Now, Cantlay comes in very fresh and well rested. I'd expect him to attack the course this week with low scoring conditions, and another victory at Muirfield Village is entirely feasible. Cantlay at 14-1 is my strongest each way selection. Next best is Englishman Justin Rose at 25-1. Rose has got a stellar record at the course, and he will fancy his chances of picking up another victory this week. He won at Muirfield Village in 2010 and has 7 top 10s in his last 11 visits to the track. He was also fourth in both 2016 and 2017. By Rose's high standards, the former world number one's form has dipped over the last year, but he looked sharp after coming back from the lockdown. He finished third at the Charles Schwab Challenge and enjoyed a top 15 finish at the RBC Heritage. Rose has put in extensive work during the lockdown to hone his game, and I would expect big results from him and more than likely a victory during this summer. With such a stellar course record, Rose is a strong contender this week and goes into the staking plan at 25-1. Now, my third selection is youngster Joaquin Niemann at 45-1. Backed a couple of weeks ago, he didn't quite find his touch at the Travellers, but this 21-year-old Chilean is worth supporting once again this week. He made an excellent debut at Muirfield Village a couple of years ago with 6th place, and then finished inside the top 30 1 year ago. His breakthrough victory on the PGA Tour at the Greenbrier last September showed he can go low, as he shot 21 under par for victory. His game's in decent shape too, as he showed last month at the RBC Heritage with a very encouraging 5th place finish. I'd say that the 2-week break has done the world of good, and a refreshed Niemann should come out firing at the pins. This is a emerging talent who is likely to rocket up the world rankings over the coming years, and Niemann at 45-1 is a title threat. Don't rule out Matt Wolff either. He goes into the betting at 66-1 and looks overpriced this week. Wolff was in sensational form last week, as he was pipped to the Rocket Mortgage Classic title by the seemingly unstoppable Bryson DeChambeau. Wolff, a world-class talent with a huge future ahead of him, made 30 birdies and an eagle last week. That's phenomenal scoring form, and he led the field for putting. It was his first top 10 since winning the 3M Open last July, and Wolff will have taken encouragement despite missing out on the victory. It was his first time in contention for such a long time, and he really held his own after a slow start in the final round. He recovered really impressively, and only a few missed putts denied him as he finished just shy of DeChambeau. Wolff would have undoubtedly benefited from getting back into contention, and with that sort of scoring form to bring here, he should really shine on his Memorial debut. He only needs to sharpen up some of the mistakes, iron them out, and with a few less birdies, he is likely to again be in the shake-up for the trophy. At 66-1 each way, Wolff has strong claims. And my final pick this week is big-hitting American Cameron Champ at 70-1. This two-time PGA Tour champion looks to be hitting form at just the right time, as he returned from the lockdown with a top 20 finish in Colonial, and then came back with a 12th place finish in Detroit. Champ's long game is in tremendous shape. He currently leads the tour this season for strokes gained off the tee, and his prodigious length is a huge asset on his second visit to Muirfield Village. With 4 par 5s to attack, I'd expect the huge hitter to make mincemeat of these and set up plenty of birdie opportunities. If Champ can just find a bit more confidence on the greens, and the slower surfaces may well suit him this week, he is likely to again feature towards the top of the leaderboard, and he could easily be an each-way threat. So just to recap on those selections, we have Patrick Cantlay as the headline bet at 14-1 each way, Justin Rose at 25-1, Joaquin Niemann at 45s, Matt Wolff at 66-1, and Cameron Champ at 70-1 each way. Best of luck with your bets this week. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed the coverage. See you again next week.